Hey y'all, so today is Friday, June 13th, and as you can tell by my cover photo, yes, today I'm going to be talking about June 13th. I'm using this childlike picture and animation because ever since my childhood, Friday the 13th has always, and just like everybody else, this narrative has been put on us to believe it's supposed to be something scary, spooky. Mind you, we in the middle of June, by the way. So we in the middle of June. There's people getting Friday 13th tattoos, just doing, sharing the fictional characters and stuff like that, like just spooky stuff, right? And I was wondering in my spirit today, because when I think about Friday the 13th, do you know the thing that come to my mind is that Nicki Minaj bar when she was like, it's Friday the 13th and guess who's playing Friday? Like, when I think about Friday the 13th, that's what comes to mind. And so when I was sitting within my thoughts, like, why do people celebrate Friday the 13th? Like, what is it? What is it? I know it's fictional stuff. I grew up not celebrating Halloween, and we were told, that's the devil's day and stuff like that. But like I said, we in June, so it's like people still carrying this spooky type energy into, even though it's in the middle of June. So I'm like, let me look it up and see what they're talking about, because I don't really be paying attention to this stuff like that. So I go to it, and of course it's talking about, it means unluckiness. Businesses lose a lot of money because people are scared to come out their house. They think all type of bad stuff supposed to happen to them. And I was sitting there reading this stuff. I heard, do you really think I created the earth to be unlucky? Do you really think I created y'all to not have anything or to have bad luck happen to you? So when I heard it, I'm like, when I picked that up in my spirit, I'm like, hold on. Because I was in the middle of doing something with my kids too while I was looking this up, because this was just where my mind was wandering at the time, right? So I'm like, I gotta go find a Bible verse that matches what I'm hearing. And I was guided to reading Job 38. And this is in the English Standard Version that I'm finna read. Now, I also want to say, growing up, I never really heard too many counter narratives to this stuff. So this was like a revelation for me today that I wanted to share with you. Now I know this ain't gonna be everybody's cup of tea. I'm just a deep thinker like that. So I'm just sharing one of the thoughts and how these messages from God be transpiring within me. So just listen, hold on. But before I even get started reading, I just want to say, like, when I finished reading this, it definitely matched the voice of God that I heard in my head to remind me of creation and what was created. And so for people to even play and try to put a spin off and make it seem like a day is unlucky, do you realize or know what you are saying? And I really felt this to share this because I needed to share this with my kids too, so that when people say stuff like this, even though they call it a joke or something, like, it's power in the tongue, it's power in what you are doing. And to say a day, for them to turn it, for those to turn it and be like it's an unlucky day, is to take away everything that we stand for and believe that we were created for. We don't believe we're unlucky and we're not blessed. And so let me just go ahead and read this. Like I said, it's the English Standard Version. So when you read this, Job chapter 38, this is the Lord answering Job. And if you don't know too much, Job was the one who got tested. And so he was asking God these questions. And so God answered him right here and said, well, let me just start from the beginning. It says, then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, who is that? Who is this that darkness counsels by words without knowledge? Right there. It says, dress for action like a man. I will question you, and you make it known to me. Where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth? Tell me, if you have understanding. Who determined its measurements? Surely you know. Or who stretched the line upon it? On what were its bases sunk? Or who laid its cornerstone? when the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy? Or who shut in the sea with doors when it burst out from the womb? When I made clouds its garment, and thick darkness its swaddling band, and prescribed limits for it, and set bars and doors, and said, thus far shall you come and no farther, and here shall your proud waves be stayed. Have you commanded the morning since your days began, and caused the dawn to know its place? See, God was putting Job in his place right here. Like, dude, you was with me from the beginning, so that's what I'm saying. When these people say this, it's like, do you really believe from the beginning of time there was a day that was created when the foundations of the earth was made for us? There was a day created for us to have just to be unlucky? Are you serious? But let me finish. Okay, he says, have you commanded the morning since your days began, and caused the dawn to know its place, that it might take hold of the skirts of the earth, and the wicked shall be shaken out of it? It is changed like clay under the seal, and its features stand out like a garment. From the wicked their light is withheld, and their uplifted arm is broken. Have you entered into the springs of the sea, or walked in the recesses of the deep? Have you comprehended the expanse of the earth? Declare if you know all of this. Where is the way to the dwelling of light, and where is the place of darkness, that you may take it to its territory, and that you may discern the paths to its home? You know, for you were born then, and the number of your days is great. Have you entered the storehouses of the snow, or have you seen the storehouses of the hail, which I have reserved for the time of trouble, for the day of battle and war? What is the way to the place where the light is distributed, or where the east wind is scattered upon the earth? Who has cleft a channel for the torrents of rain, and a way for the thunderbolt, to bring rain on a land where no man is, on the desert in which there is no man, to satisfy the waste and desolated land, and to make the ground sprout with grass? Has the rain a father, or who has begotten the drops of dew? From whose womb did the ice come forth, and who has given birth to the frost of heaven? The waters become hard like stone, and the face of the deep is frozen. Can you bind the chains of the Pleiades, these are the stars, or loose the coils of Orion? Can you lead from Mazzaroth in their season? Or can you guide the bear with his children? Do you know the ordinances of heaven? Can you establish their rule on the earth? Can you uplift your voice to the clouds, that a flood of waters may cover you? Can you send forth lightnings that they may go, and say to you, here we are? Who has put wisdom in the inward parts, or given understanding to the mind? Who can number the clouds by wisdom, or who can tilt the water skins of the heavens, when the dust runs into a mass, and the clouds stick fast together? I messed that last part up a bit, but hold on, we almost finished. He said, can you hunt the prey for the lion, or satisfy the appetite of the young lions when they crouch in their dens, or lie in wait in their thicket? Who provides for the raven its prey when its young ones cry to God for help, and wander about for lack of food? Like I said, God was saying, stop playing with me. You wasn't here from the beginning of time, so you don't know all this stuff. So for somebody to tell you, like I said in ending, for somebody to tell you it's a joke, this is a day that God made to be unlucky, you better remember. Tell your children, tell everybody. Do you remember who created this all? Because if you think man created this and can do these things that God listed out that has been done, that he has successfully accomplished, that we are still on the foundation of what's been accomplished, and for us to sit here and foolishly joke around and believe that there was a day created within all of this time for us to have a day of unluckiness, just bad luck. You are crazy if you think this is an established time or moment that he has put into the earth year after year for us to be unlucky. Come on now. All right, y'all. Peace.